Well, after the warm, dry, settled, anticyclonic summer that we've seen, I guess you could say, in one word, it's autumnal. Thanks for clicking on to the Friday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. Coming up this weekend, we've got the Tropical Outlook tomorrow, and then the live will be at 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. So I'll leave a link in the description below for this. Hit that notify me bell as well, and you will get a reminder when I go live. I hope you're enjoying the wide variety of content here on the channel. Not just looking at one aspect, but we're looking at the big broad picture, looking at the tropics. We're looking at various aspects, including more and more chat with regards to winter as well. So if perhaps you have kind of signed out for the past few months, now is the time to get back in if you're interested in all things winter. And I will provide a very fair and balanced analysis with regards to the upcoming winter season as well. Obviously, I shared in yesterday's video looking back at the heat of summer 25 versus the past, how that compares to heat waves in the past. But also I looked at briefly, I shared the multi-model run of the December through February period. It obviously showed a fairly mild picture for the winter upcoming. Remember, that's only one run, and we're still in September. There is a lot of variables yet to be ironed out. El Nino, which is not going to be the case, it's going to be La Nina, sorry, and we're going to have the potential of a negative Indian Ocean dipole. We've got a warm Atlantic, we've got a cold blob south of Greenland. We've got things to look at with regards to the stratosphere, what kind of polar vortex strength are we going to have for the next few months. So it's going to be very much what I see is going to be what I'm going to share with you, instead of it being a kind of a bias towards one particular element. It's not going to be a lean towards cold, it's not going to be a lean towards mild. Going to basically be as open and as transparent as I possibly can with regards to the upcoming winter season. So yes, hit that subscribe button. It is absolutely free. And this is the latest visible satellite imagery. We're very much embedded within a firmly low pressure dominated pattern at the moment. One system after another, one low, one front is moving through. We're seeing spells of lively showers, blustery westerly winds. We're seeing longer spells of rain. We're seeing lightning driving up the A9 last night. I've seen some flashes of lightning as I headed up towards Inverness. And it was just all thanks to the cooler aloft, the instability within the atmosphere, and a fairly deep area of low pressure actually up to the north. We've got the next system, as you can see here in visible satellite, now approaching the west of the UK and Ireland, but you can see here this westerly component and the instability triggering very frequent blustery showers that are rattling through at a pretty good clip. In the sunshine, feeling not too bad at all, but you're seeing here some of these little convective cells developing here as well. Very nice visible satellite imagery, actually showing even the winds bouncing over the top of the hills here. That kind of ripple effect here as the atmosphere kind of feels the frictional effects of the land and the topography over both the UK as well as Ireland. And in terms of radar, this is how it's looking. So we've got plenty of showers embedded within that westerly flow. You can see a close-up view of the UK and Ireland here. You can kind of see these little lines showing up here in the airflow. Temperatures fairly subdued thanks to that strong westerly flow. Not too bad in shelter. We're knocking the door of 20 Celsius in East Anglia, parts of eastern England, even eastern Scotland, 16, 17 Celsius, but further west we're 10, 12, 13 Celsius. Feeling cooler in that wind as well. Let's look at the wind chills here, single figure real field temperatures here. We're going to see, with winds dropping off in between systems, clear skies, lighter winds. This time of the year, nights are growing increasingly long. We're going to see patchy frost in places, particularly so Saturday into Sunday before that next area of low pressure moves in the system that we've been really talking about for some time, that doesn't look as if it's going to be deep enough and disruptive enough to be named. But you can see here temperatures It's starting to come down a little bit more over France in the central areas of Europe, clinging on to some late summer, early autumn warmth across Iberia. Not really a surprise here. Greece, Turkey as well. We're seeing temperatures into the low to mid 30s as well. So still pretty hot down in the southwest and the southeast. Even over Italy, we're talking about the upper 20s here. And even temperatures fairly mild. In fact, we're talking very mild actually up across the north of Norway, Sweden and Finland. The temperatures are knocking the door of, what, 20, 21 Celsius? This is up into the Arctic Circle here, so very warm air. As we've got these troughs, these areas of lower pressure and Atlantic air, cleaning out the atmosphere for sure. A real autumn-like feel in the northwest of Europe here. We're pulling heat out of the eastern med Black Sea region northwards here, western Russia, and up into the northeast of the continent here. So that's quite interesting. And obviously, with these lively showers, we are seeing lightning detections here over parts of southwestern Scotland, eastern England here, off the east coast over the North Sea, and we're seeing plenty of lightning activity. Copenhagen looks as if it's getting hammered at the moment here by lightning. So this is quite an interesting look here. So you can see these cells here. If you go back to the visible satellite imagery, you can actually see the lift within the atmosphere, a little bit more elevation within those clouds there as they exit the England and move out into the North Sea. If we zoom back out, you can see here we've got some fairly decent convection here over Denmark as we're going to pull up. So yeah, you can see here some fairly lively sails rattling through Denmark, approaching the Copenhagen area in the parts of southwestern Sweden as well. So reasonably interesting stuff going on today. So again, back to the lightning detection, plenty of lightning activity over East Anglia and then into the near continent as well. So yep, a fairly active day out there for sure. And let's have a look then at the GFS model. This is the overview precip cloud temperature and pressure. There's that center of low pressure. Like I say, a fairly deep affair, 976, 977 millibars. That system here is the one to watch for Sunday and Monday. You've got another feature here that is going to move in as this system pulls away. So you can see here as this system clears out, we've got more weather moving through Ireland and into the UK through the course of today. And then there's that system there that developed off the east coast of Canada, moving through during the course of Saturday. We've got quite wet weather moving through. Then there's going to be a legacy of blustery showers that follow that main frontal system here. And then the main system itself moves through later Sunday into Monday here. 986 millibars according to the GFS model. Let's have a quick look at the ECMWF just to compare that. You can see here it's deeper, 980, 981. So it looks as if it's actually peaking at around 980. Strongest winds probably across the bulk of England, Wales, Ireland, Northern Ireland, possibly southern Scotland here. Less so in the way of wind underneath the centre of the low over much of Scotland, especially north of the central belt here. So if we put on the wind gusts, you can see here that we've got some decent gusts in excess of 100 kilometres per hour, especially an exposure that the northwest corner of Ireland, Donegal area, in the northern portions of Northern Ireland, in the southwestern Scotland, northwestern England here. That's where the strongest gusts are going to be during the course of Sunday and into Monday. Back to the overview chart then of the ECM. So we'll kind of just skip from the GFS to the ECM. You can see here that area of low pressure lingers over the northern half of the UK through much of Monday. Then we've got another system waiting in the wings here, a firmly active pattern at the moment here. But you notice here there's that system moving in. I want to put on the 850s here because I'm watching carefully the potential of colder air coming down from the north here. So it's not really showing that, but look at the combination here of plus 15 Celsius at 850. So these are the 850 temperatures. You can see here quite a distinct contrast between the north side of this low and the south side here. So that collision of air mass is something that we need to watch here in terms of some fairly decent deepening. And there's another one just waiting in the wings as well. So it's just one system, this low pressure train, this conveyor almost of moisture and systems running embedded within that zonal flow. So that system then crosses southern Ireland and southern UK, bulk of England, Wales, wet period during the latter Tuesday into early Wednesday time frame. But drawing your attention here to the isobars, we've got an area of high pressure over Greenland, we've got an area of low pressure over northern Norway, and this kind of northerly flow here that may try to drag something colder in. Again, it wouldn't be a long-lived thing, but it would be a shot of colder air coming in on the backside of these lows. So let's just hold on to the 850s here just for a second. You can see that cold air trying to come in, but then the next area of low pressure moves in from the southwest. It's very much an air mass battle in this regime here when you've got a zonal active, fairly very active jet stream here, but it's very flat nature. You're building the cold to the north, obviously, and then you've got a lot of summer residual warmth to the south, and it doesn't take an awful lot for warmth to come north, cold to come south, and we've got this rather energetic pattern at the moment. Then there's opportunity for something colder with higher pressure then going to try and rebuild, or build, should I say, into the UK and Ireland. Notice the snow over southern portions of Norway. Let's put the 850s back on again. You can see here again that threat of something colder coming in from the north. But back over to the overview, I'm kind of jumping back and forward here, I know, but you can see here there's that area of high pressure trying to build in for a time. Does it linger? Does it hold? That's going to be the open question here, but we'll wait and see what happens. I want to go back to the GFS model here real quick and just play it through, because the GFS, again, one system that's preyed of low pressure systems moving in off the Atlantic here, bringing frequent bouts of wet and windy. But there is an opportunity for higher pressure to build in, but there's also opportunity for something colder trying to come in on the backside of these lows as well, that may provide some fairly chilly overnights in particular. A couple of chilly days, a couple of chilly overnights here. You can see here that flirt, but there's also a flirt with some real bona fide warmth as well. Back to the overview here. You can see the complexity of this pattern. It's very much a phase 2, 3 into 4, 5, but we're also seeing this energy continuing to progress from Indian Ocean through maritime continent Pacific, even into the Atlantic Basin. Looks as if there's opportunity for something trying to waken up there as well. So, looking at the CFSV2 weeklies, upcoming 7 days, very much as flat of a flow as you're going to get out of the Atlantic into the Europe here. Hot across Iberia, very much unsettled across the UK and Ireland, with a deep trough bang slap over the northern UK and Ireland here. Into week 2, you can see here that there is the opportunity for ridging trying to come up from the south, and then something a little bit different. Looks as if the ridge is trying to build maybe up towards the North Atlantic and Greenland here towards the end of the month. We'll wait and see what happens with regards to that. In terms of precipitation, not really a surprise. Upcoming 7 days, very wet compared to average. Following 7 days, this takes all the way to the 26th. So that's this prediction of wetter than average, I think, may play out in terms of the September outlook. And into week 3, you can see here something drier showing up with higher pressure trying to build in. In terms of temperature anomalies, we are still running, I think, above average in terms of the month so far, but this is the upcoming 7 days here, firmly below average for UK and Ireland. Then something a little bit warmer than average showing up. In terms of the tropics, then we do have the MJO trying to move out into phases 8 and 1. That correlates to an eastward progress of a rising motion within the atmosphere, and that means that we need to watch out for something wakening up in the tropics of the Atlantic Basin here. Now, interestingly, NHC does have an area that is coming off Africa with a 40% chance of development over the next 7 days. More on that in the tropical outlook tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But it's going to be interesting to see as this upward motion, this upward pulse moves eastwards rapidly through the Pacific into the Atlantic basin. We are also watching at this time of the year for the potential of a Central American gyre, which is a kind of elongated, large envelope with low pressure over Central America that develops. Sometimes you get features that spin off that larger vortex. So the models are kind of trying to sniff out something there as well. So that is it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of the channel that is continuing to grow. Trying to show you as much varied content as possible here. So stick around, hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow with the Tropical Outlook. And then, as always, Sunday afternoon, the live stream at 4 p.m. looking at all things global. So stay tuned for that. Have a great rest of your Friday. Bye for now.